What's good about your boy Hockey? And today I'm gonna be reacting to arrest made after body found in trunk. Is David next? It's my boy Trapmore Ross. I genuinely might be my favorite YouTuber. I'm not gonna lie. But let's get straight to it.
Okay, people, I've got a very interesting update for you today, and this connects to the David case in a way that I think is definitely very telling. But, okay, I'm not going to lie, I'm not going to cap to you guys, okay? I don't want you guys to think that this is a story about David getting arrested. This isn't a story about David getting arrested. The news that's just come out, okay, and it is a little bit confusing. The news that's just come out says that KTLA reports an arrest. Now, look, this is just a snippet from the article. Okay, I'll tell you what this article says, and then I'll explain to you what's really going on. All right, it says officials of the Los Angeles Police Department announced the arrest of a 52-year-old woman in connection with the death of Celeste Rivas Hernandez, who was discovered
Oh,
dismembered in the trunk of a Tesla registered
nah, bro, you lying. You lying, bro. Was arrested for search warrants
to
for
multi-platinum R&B singer David. Sandra Romero Diaz, a resident of Los Angeles, was arrested on September 16th after search warrants were executed at multiple locations, police said in a news release. She's been charged with the LA County District Attorney's Office with murder. Now, look, just going to make it very clear, this is misreporting, okay? They've made a mistake. An arrest has been made.
Okay, I'm like, bro, so how is this older lady connected to the Celeste Rivas situation? Because that don't make no sense. Because now like he's probably gonna say that because there was two bodies that were found in a trunk in the same week in LA, like within like a 2-day time period. So I believe this is connected to the other thing because the other vehicle was found burnt and like charred, and they found like a body that was charred. Um, so I'm thinking that's that. But let me know what y'all think in the comments. Let me know what y'all, you know what I'm saying. Let's
But it's not in the case of the David situation, okay? So before I explain everything and explain it to you guys, okay, everybody's saying this was falsely reported, but this is relevant, okay? It says this is not true. They just sent a notification that Sandra is the one who died and was found in a trunk, and an arrest was made on her death. This has nothing to do with Celeste, sadly, but also RIP
rest
to
in
this
peace,
poor
yeah.
woman, okay? KTLA did a correction, so fair play to them, okay? But
And
this is what's important here. This relates to the other body.
yeah, this is what I was talking about. If y'all didn't know, go watch like I think like the last two of my David videos. Like I think this explains more so this story, but we get really into
The
this.
one burned in a trunk of a different car. Don't know why they decided to include it alongside this article, though. I think they got their stories mixed up since they both relate to bodies being found in a car.
That's what
Okay,
I'm
people are
thinking.
saying this isn't about Celeste's case. Okay, it's related. It's related to a body, okay, that was found in a car in South LA. It's a different story, okay? It's a completely different story, but it is another case where a woman was found dead inside the trunk of a car. Okay. And I think this is really, really interesting, right? The reason why I think this is very, very interesting is because we've been hearing endless talk about when's David's arrest going to happen? Why hasn't David been arrested? Why hasn't anything been done about this situation? And obviously, there's a lot of talk about the body decomposing in the car being, the body being left in a state where it's really hard for them to identify, the toxicology reports looking like it's going to be taking months, all of these things.
Damn, months, bro. My thing is like, if we can, well, because it was also a decomposed body, so I think there is probably there's just things that I don't know, but at the same time, it's like, well, how hard is it to find out this information if we've got big teams of people working on it, you know? But dang, dude, if it takes months to get her toxicology report, then we might I'm telling people a lot of people with this case, like if we do see an arrest, dude, we're not gonna see an arrest for like I'm being honest, bro. We're not gonna see an arrest for another 3 to 4 months, if I'm being 100% honest.
I think that this situation actually shows that the police can and do, all right, manage to track down people that are involved when a body is left in the trunk of a car. Now, I just want you guys to understand, like, I'm not trying to clickbait you, but what I'm trying to say, okay, a lot of people thought maybe that this was the situation that was actually kind of confused with the David situation. So this is the case, and this all went down basically around exactly like all around the same time, but in a different tow yard as the David situation, okay? So check this out, right? Because I want you guys to understand the timeline. I think what's really interesting is the timeline. Both of these cars were found around the same time, dead body in the trunk, in a tow yard, okay? And it just goes to show you, okay, there's
For the people that are wondering why I'm laughing, I'm low-key just I'm listening to him, but I'm also watching this police chase on the side of the road, and like, why are they driving so slow in a police chase? Like, I always wondered that. Like, why y'all be like I
going to be some
I'm just watching
interesting
this shit on the
differences and
side on the
contrasts
road.
here with the David situation and this situation. A lot of people are wondering, why have they managed to track down and get the person in this case? But the David thing, it seems out of reach. There's a lot of talk. There's a lot of confusion about what's going on. Okay, so look at this news clip. This will explain what happened with the car.
Breaking news, a body found in a car at a tow yard in South Los Angeles. This is a live look at the scene as investigators go through the wreckage of this car. And if this story sounds familiar to you, we started this newscast off with a body that was found in a different tow yard yesterday. That was in a Tesla owned by 20-year-old David Anthony Burke, a singer who's on tour right now. In this case, this body was found this afternoon inside that what appears to be a Honda in a South LA tow yard, Owl's Tow. We're trying to get more information. As we get it, we'll bring it to you.
So
New at 5, it was
in this case, right, a death investigation is underway after a body was found inside of a tow yard. Al's towing at St. Andrew's Place. Tents were around the Honda sedan, and the police were investigating the discovery. Now, an update has taken place. An arrest has been made.
In connection with the death of a person found in the trunk of a vehicle at
Like, my thing is though, how were they able to get them so fast? But with the David thing, they weren't. But it's also like we gotta take into account that he's a celebrity, so he has money for like really good defense teams. So any small mistake that LAPD or whoever's gonna be, whoever's investigating, I believe it's like LAPD, it's not the feds yet. If it was the feds, we know that for sure David would be cooked. But um, back to the Dave situation. It's just so, like they have to be careful because any wrong thing could just get the case completely thrown out or get him like a very light reducted sentence. So I kind of see why.
a tow yard in South Los Angeles. This is not the death investigation involving the car that belongs to the singer David. This was a separate case last month. Police say that they have arrested 52-year-old Sandra Romo Diaz for the murder. The victim still has not been publicly.
So they haven't publicly identified
new at
the
5,
victim
it was
in that case, okay? But the police have actually managed to track down the person responsible for this in what is about 24 days ago. So that's just over 3 weeks, okay? Sandra Romo Diaz, 52, was taken into custody. It doesn't have any more details or interesting backstory about how the person was found in the car. It seems like all of the information has circulated around this David case, okay? And it says the body found in the vehicle has still not been identified at that point, okay? So this situation, I think, really stands out to me, okay? Because it shows that there's other circumstances, other situations where the police are indeed able to find evidence and basically prove, at least in their opinion, that they're actually making an arrest for murder. This is actually a murder arrest. It's not desecration of a corpse. It's not anything. It's just straight up 24 days from the body being found, and somebody is officially being arrested for murder. So it sparks the question, what's taking so long in the David situation? Is it a case that there's actually just way more evidence, way more backstory to get through in the David situation? I mean, we've been seeing these mountains of evidence, these crazy posts from Discord, all of these old songs, all of these.
Dude, the Discord and the songs was enough, in my opinion. Enough proof that we should at least look into the guy. There's something wrong with him mentally, and he should be the #1 suspect, as it was found in his car that was parked outside his house in the hills. People reportedly saw them together all the time. Like, it's just certain things where it's like, I don't know, what more evidence do you need? Like, do you need like there's videos, pictures, and you gotta remember they took that boy's MacBook, they took all his belongings that were inside of that house before he, moved out. So there's gotta be something on them, like something. I just feel like they're
Weird
just keeping
pictures that
quiet on
seemingly
purpose.
show David with the victim. It makes you wonder, have the police seen something that actually might convince them that David isn't the person responsible? Because as we can see from this contrasting case, okay, it is possible within 24 days for them to get the evidence together and prove at least enough to make a murder charge. that somebody is actually responsible for this body being put in the car that ended up in the tow yard. Now, I would really love to know some more details, like some more backstory and details about this case. I'd love to do a bit more of an in-depth analysis, but I think the reason why it's so difficult, I've really struggled to find information about this case because the person who died still hasn't been identified. All we found out now is the name of this person who's been arrested for it, but we're not getting any of this backstory. And it really just goes to show you how different things play out when you've got a celebrity involved. A lot of people have been
Yes.
drawing parallels between the David situation to the O.J. Simpson case, and a lot of
Really?
people saying, David's allegedly hiring the top attorneys in Los Angeles, Hollywood fixers. There's rumors that, maybe there's a lot of damage control going on social media, alternative narratives being spread around. It's possible.
I think they're definitely pushing out, and I'm probably gonna clip this. Y'all need to stop pushing the narrative that Celeste was this evil, dark-minded child. Like, we need to stop that, bro. She met bro when she was like 12. She's a child out of a obviously broken home, as we saw, I believe in the last video where Celeste was arguing with the neighbors. Um, But like, oh, I don't think I uploaded that video yet. But like, I'm gonna upload a video where we see that, and she sounded drunk. So it's like, um, bro, she was just a child from a broken home, and this guy came along and was like, you know what? Let me groom this person. Let me take advantage of this child, and fell in love with her, and started writing love songs about her, and then now we're here. So it's just like, I don't like how the people are pushing this narrative on Celeste, and it's just so obvious. Like, it's a bunch of delusional fans, man. And I never understood this. Like, dude, you can be a fan of the music and just say, look, man, the guy's a piece of shit. He's a horrible person, but I still like his music. I'm not gonna sit like, love the art, hate the artist. It's like I talk about this so much in my videos because it's like some people just need to realize and have that type of mentality. You don't have to back up your artist every time they're in the wrong, bro. Like, 'cause some of y'all will even back up artists harder than y'all would back up, like, family members or your friends, so it's like, y'all gotta chill out with that lame shit.
But the
But
police are
anyways.
actually aware of these kind of activities and that they're actually thinking, okay, we really, really are up against a serious challenge here. We need to actually get together a much more comprehensive breakdown. I mean, look, I'm not even trying to be disrespectful or kind of point out anything that's not relevant. But something that I do think is interesting is when you consider this a case of somebody who, the David case, somebody who's incredibly wealthy. Okay, they've got a lot of connections, they've got a lot of money behind them. They're in a position where they can put up a much more serious defense to these charges. And I think one of the things that actually maybe just makes this a stark contrast is the cars that were found. Okay, if you look at the difference, I mean, this is a bigger societal question that we're bringing to the table here. Okay, in this case, not trying to be disrespectful, but this is a more of a clapped out Honda, okay, that the body's been found in. Okay, these are people probably from a less fortunate socio-economic situation. Well,
Mhm.
not even a less fortunate.
I was thinking about the same thing. I'm like, bro, it's because he's a celebrity and the type of car that the person was found in. Like, they probably just thinking, oh, this was just some crazy human in LA, some crazy old lady in LA versus, celebrity. Oh, is this big rapper David Singer, and
Economic situation
I
than
do
David's
see
in.
the comparisons
David,
to
you've got a
OJ.
body being found in $100,000 Tesla. Okay. It just goes to show you that these are two different cases, okay, very similar, bodies being found in cars, but they're two different sets of people from very different walks of life, from very different levels of the social and financial hierarchy in Los Angeles. And I think this is going to be really interesting to watch play out because I want to actually follow this case closely as well and see how quickly it ends up getting prosecuted, how much evidence the police actually had for them to be able to say, okay, we're actually going to put murder charges on this person who's actually also been found with a body in their car, and contrast and compare that to the David situation. This person who has been found in incredibly similar circumstances, arguably with even more, evidence. Yeah, a lot of it's hearsay, a lot of it's not actually substantial. It's not necessarily blood evidence, but all of these posts on social media that seem to connect David to the victim, and he's still not been arrested. So I think that this really highlights something that's very.
My thing is they didn't arrested black dudes on less evidence though. That's like, I'm thinking back to that Charleston White interview, and he's 100% wrong. Right. They have convicted black men for reasons very insignificant reasons that you wouldn't even believe. So I definitely just think that they're scared of his defense because he has money and connections. Like that's 100% the real reason why they haven't done anything. They're trying to get all their what did I saw something in rows or something in order. Just trying to get all the evidence in order. But let me know what you guys think in the chat. Do you think that the police are doing as much as they can, or do you think they could all be doing a little bit more in this case? But it's your boy Hockey, and I am out. Peace.